Hello, everyone. This is Roberta Perego. I'm the Senior Product Sales Manager at Girl Scouts Heart of the Hudson, and I'd like to welcome you all to this webinar on Digital Cookie. Digital Cookie is an additional way for girls to market their cookies. It was introduced by Girl Scouts of the USA, which is our parent organization, 3 years ago. It's been improved every year. And this year, Girl Scouts Heart of the Hudson is adding something new, something that many parents asked us for last year, and that is in-person or girl delivery. So this year, customers will be able to order cookies online, pay for them with a credit card, and ask that a girl deliver them the cookies. They'll be able to do this throughout our initial order period, which is February 3rd to March 5th. So tonight, parents, you're going to learn how to help your girls set up their website, and you'll learn how to manage the in-person or girl delivery. And leaders, you're going to get a lot of information too. You'll know what the parents need to do, and you'll know how you can see what the girls are doing in Digital Cookie. So I think it's going to be a very worthwhile webinar for everybody, including me, because this is new to me too. And we're very, very fortunate tonight to have with us a presenter from GSUSA, and her name is Heather Law. She is the Digital Cookie Training and Communications Program Manager. She is going to give you all of the answers to all of your questions, and if there's a question she can't answer, she'll know where to get that answer. So if you have questions as we go along, there is a question box. Just type your question in that, and we'll be monitoring them as we go along. So Heather, thank you in advance for doing this for us, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Excellent. Thank you. And I'm very excited to be here as well. And because I'd like to Roberta's got this nice, calm voice, and I tend to get excitable and talk really fast. So if I go too fast, just someone can shout out to or put it in the chat box to remind me to slow down a little. So anyway, I again am excited to be here and that you're sharing some of your evening with me tonight. I'll get you the information you need as quickly as I can without going too quick, hopefully, and absolutely ask questions along the way. The more questions you ask, the better it is. It's great fun to stand here and talk to myself for an hour and a half or so at a time, but it's much more fun if I've got some interaction going on. And I've told people forever, if you have a question, ask it, because somebody else out there probably has the same question. Either is afraid to ask it because they know, God, I don't know if that sounds like a dumb question, because it's not a dumb question, or it's a question they just didn't even know they had yet. So asking it helps everyone out there. As Roberta said, I am from GSUSA, but I worked for a Girl Scout Council for 20 years prior to that, and in product sales for 15. So I'm not green behind the ears there. I've got everything from camp and programs and a little bit of everything there under my belt, and now in the mom of a brownie Girl Scout, so I'm finally getting to practice what I've been preaching for years. So that's been really fun as well. But let's jump into Digital Cookie 3.0 for you guys. So just a quick question. You guys are here because you want to use Digital Cookie, but I want you to know that you're making a good decision. So if you just had to guess to yourself, no prizes, unfortunately, except for you can pat yourself on the back. If you had to guess girls who sold Digital Cookie and traditional as opposed to just traditional, if you had to guess how much higher their per girl average was, what would you think it would be? Get a number in your head. I'll reveal the answer. So it's actually 76% higher. And you might have noticed this. You might have some girls, your daughter or girls in your troop are participating in Digital Cookie, and you might see that for yourself that, well, it might not be 76% higher. You might see that they have a higher per girl average. Pardon me. It's not that Digital Cookie is some magical cookie selling tool that everyone who touches Digital Cookie suddenly sells a lot more cookies. But girls who use Digital Cookie are ones who are motivated, who've got goals, who said, you know what, we've got a big goal and I want to use any tool at my disposal to reach it. So they're using Digital Cookie to reach more friends and family than they have before. Now that you've got Girl Delivery, it's an excellent avenue. You know, I've gone door to door. I love that. We're not stopping doing that. We can't wait we've been a little snowbound out here because I'm in Portland, Oregon. We can't wait for that to thaw. We're going to get to go door to door. But with Digital Cookie, I didn't have to wait. So the neighbors who we knew or people we knew, we didn't have to go try and wait and knock on their door. We could put their email address in. We could reach a whole bunch of them on a snowy, cold afternoon and not have to worry about the weather impacting us. So it allowed us to reach a lot more folks at once with a click of an email and, you know, increase our reach over just going door to door or having to call people individually. So you guys are probably sold. You're already on this webinar. You'll notice when you got your registration email that it included, maybe you didn't notice, that there's actually only 4 easy steps to using Digital Cookie. So some people think, oh, it's hard. I can't. This is one more thing to learn. I'm never going to learn it. We're going to walk you through these steps. So it's actually kind of 3.5 steps. The 4th one is sort of a bonus step, but we'll take a look at that. So you got your registration email, and if you didn't get your registration email, we'll have Roberta pop a message in the chat to everyone of who you can contact to get that resolved if you or someone in your troop didn't get a Digital Cookie registration email. But when you get it, the first thing you're going to do is register. In your email, there was a big green button, and so the email says something like register for the Digital Cookie platform today. So you're going to open that email. You can check your promotions folder if you don't have the email yet, because a whole lot of them go to promotions folder. Even mine, I'm not immune. My council sent the emails out, and 3 days later, I thought, gosh, I don't remember getting an email. I looked, and there it was in my promotions folder. So before you, first stop is check promotions folder, or spam, or junk for it. Once you do find it, click that green button that you're going to see, and it's really obvious. It doesn't say ready, set, register. I think it just says register now. After that, it's a pretty easy. If you've used the web before, I suspect most of you have, or you are using it now, perhaps, to see this presentation. It's like any other website. When you go, you have to set up a password and log in. For parents, you'll also have a safety video. So it's designed to be viewed with your Girl Scout. It's about 3 minutes long, and it's really cute and adorable. So the first year, we had this like awful 20-minute video that no one probably watched. Last year, we got this down to about a 3-minute video that's fun. It's got animation. It's got fun music. I will tell you, it comes on really loud, so turn your speakers down when you're sitting with your daughter watching it. And it's so cute. Actually, my Girl Scout the other day was just watching it just because you can access it on other pages too, and she just really likes the video. So it's definitely not a painful safety video. Once you watch that, there will be terms and conditions to approve. If you're a volunteer, you'll have them for volunteer and for parents. If you have multiple roles of parents and any kind of volunteer, when you log in, you'll be asked which role you want. So do you want to see your parent view? Do you want to see your troop view or service unit view if you're a service unit manager? Parents will then have another step, and it's kind of tiny here. There's a little box that says you register your girls. So the girls in your family will come up. There's a green box. You'll click that box, and it'll have you enter her preferred first name. So she might be in the membership roles as Elizabeth, and she shows up here as Elizabeth, but she goes by Liz. And so if you send an email saying, you know, when she sends the email, it's going to come from Elizabeth, people are like, who's that? Liz are going to know, so you can put in her preferred first name here. This is important to know. If you have a girl 13 or over, when you're going through this screen, it's going to ask you for an email address for that girl. So girls 13 and over get their own site. So parents have to enter an email address for them that is not an email address that's already in use in the system. So a mom can't just enter her email address. She could enter her other email address. So maybe you use your personal Gmail account to do everything here in Cookies, but you've got a work email address. You could enter that for your Girl Scout if she doesn't have her own email address. If your daughter doesn't have an email address and you don't have another one that you can use, you could set one up with one of the free email services, and just, you don't have to give her that password. I always think it'd be great to set an email up for her now if she doesn't have one, and on her 16th birthday, give her an envelope with her password to her very own email account. So, so you can use one of those. But it does have to be a separate email, and it can't be the same as the parent one. And she does do everything through that site herself. That doesn't mean you can't be sitting right there. And like I said, you don't have to give her the password. She can still work through it with you, but it is a separate account. So I'm going to pause for any questions on this so far on registration that have come up.
Heather, I don't see any questions yet. We did have one
Okay.
person who guessed a 75% increase with girls who do both digital and in person. And
Wow.
she was really close. Now there's some questions coming in.
Okay, great.
And some of these you might be getting into later. So if you are, say so. As a leader, can we set up the account with the girls?
It does have to be the parents. So that's the interesting thing about Digital Cookie is, most everything else cookie related kind of comes through the leader or the cookie manager. But this is all triggered off of the parent email address. Now, I can say the parent can hand you her email address once she's gone through the registration process, because the parent has to view the safety video. She's got to approve these terms and conditions, and it's got all the rules on there. So that's not something that you'd want to do for a parent. You'd want the parent seeing that, understanding what she's agreeing to. Once she's logged in, if the parent wants to share the email address and the password for Digital Cookie, then there's nothing, there's no reason you couldn't do that in a troop meeting or something like that. But overall, it is all off of the parent's email.
Okay, somebody is interested to know whether or not there's a way for leaders who don't have children to view the safety video. Is that something, Heather, that we could put up on our website maybe?
Yeah, I'll find out if there's a way to do that. So, because I know it lives on the Games and Videos page, but you wouldn't have access to that either. So I'll figure out if there's a way to see that safety video.
Okay. There's a couple people who have questions for me. What if our assigned troop in Digital Cookie is the wrong troop number? We did have an issue with that last week where there were in certain service units, there were errors. That has been fixed. So if you went into Digital Cookie before Monday, you may have had the wrong troop. It should be fixed now. If it's still wrong, then you need to send me an email so I can look into that. And then someone else said, what if our assigned troop number in Digital Cookie is the wrong troop number? I think that's the same question as long as you're referring to yourself as a leader volunteer. The girls' troop number should be correct. It comes directly from our registration database. If you find that your daughter's troop number is incorrect, then send us an email so that we can look into that. Someone else asked, if we didn't get the email, what do we do? I sent out a message in chat, at least I think I did. What you'll do is send an email to productsales@girlscoutshh.org, and you use the subject no DOC email, and then we will look into it. Let's see. Can you set up one website for sisters who are twins in the same troop? They each would have their own email address.
So if the girls are both over 13, they would have their own email address. What I've seen a couple of these, who I'm assuming are sisters, where the parent has done when she registers the girl, she puts a preferred first name of, we'll say, Susie and Lucy. So it's Susie and Lucy's website, and then they can work on it together. Now, remember, it all ties back, well, you don't know this yet maybe, but it all ties back to eBuddy. So if you're working on Susie and Lucy's website, I guess you said they were in the same troop, just remember that it's going to give all the credit to whichever girl it's supposed to be. So, for example, these two little boxes down here will say the first one is Susie and the first one is Lucy. So if when you're registering the girl, you typed in the name here is Susie and Lucy because you wanted to use just one website for the sisters, that means that in eBuddy, it's going to give all the credit to whoever is here. So it might just be Susie. That's not to say the leader can't help out. She can kind of shift those boxes around later if she's willing. Make sure she's willing to do that. But I have seen some parents who are doing that based on the register, the logins I've seen.
Okay. Here's a parent of an 11-year-old, and 11-year-olds cannot use their own email. It has to go under the parent's email. If they're 13 or older, they can use their own. Isn't that correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yep, and it won't even ask. So on the registration screen here, if the girl is under 13, you won't be asked to enter an email address. Only if she's over 13 or if she's 13 or over will you be asked for an email address for her.
Okay. And someone else is asking if this is mandatory. No, this is optional. This is for the family to decide. So if you don't want to go in and set up a website, that's perfectly okay. Oh, my, we have
and what you can do for girls, 13 and over, the parent still has access. The parent can actually do the site setup on her page, so she can do it with her daughter. She can't send out any emails. She can't mark and badge steps as complete, and she can't add any customers through the parent account. But they can set up the site, and they have a link to the site still, so you could still do that.
Somebody's saying they have a very limited view of the screen. Should I be able to scroll down on the page? No, you can't scroll down. I have a partial view of select view register girls. Yeah, that doesn't go all the way. You're seeing everything you need to see, but it looks like it's cut off, but it really isn't.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of that bottom sometimes gets cut off, and I apologize. But there's nothing much below that. So
somebody else has
that
found their email in spam. Yes, in some emails it will go to spam or junk mail. If you have Gmail, it goes to the promotions folder. So if you didn't get your registration email, do check in those folders to see if it landed there.
Perfect. And, for the person who talked about it being cut up, that's a great reminder. Pardon me. This is a few steps. The safety video is 3 minutes, but otherwise, from the minute you open that email till the minute you're through the process is like 2 minutes tops. Okay. Let me go back. So the terms and conditions, I am sure that every one of you is going to read every single one of those lines on both of those screens that you're going to scroll through, just like you do every time you sign a terms and conditions for a website. So if you're reading all those lines and watching the safety video, that might be 4 minutes. But the entire process of even doing all those is still less than 5 minutes to get set up. So, and in 2 years now in Digital Cookie, it is rare that anybody can't figure this process out. So it is very, very rare. It's pretty standard. It walks you through it. So I wouldn't, the person who can't quite see the screen, don't worry. I know if you're on this webinar, you will be able to successfully negotiate the registration process.
And somebody signed on a little bit late and is asking, is the idea of this for out-of-town orders? It certainly helps with out-of-town orders, but what we said in the very beginning, which you might have missed, is that this year we're also offering in-person or girl delivery. So customers can order online, pay with their credit card, and ask that the cookies be delivered by a girl. So it will be good for out-of-town people who want their cookies shipped, as well as for local people who want to use their credit card to pay.
And that's a great point, Roberta. When we've done some focus groups with parents after last year, they said they really appreciate this for the ability to reach family and friends for the shipped orders. So, and I give the example all the time. Pardon me. In the past, we might have called up or emailed Grandma, probably called her up and said, "Hey, Grandma, Susie's selling cookies. Would you like to buy some?" And she would say yes. And eventually, at the end of the sale, it was probably after spring break, I'd wander down to the post office with those boxes that were sitting in the corner of my house for so long, pack them up, get them in the mail to her pretty late. So, but I wasn't going to do that for aunts and uncles and cousins. I was just doing that for Grandma because it's Grandma. Now, she can send an email to all those folks, and they always would have supported her in the past. It was just really, the parents like, I just didn't want to deal with all that. So now the relatives, family, and friends who don't live nearby can support the Girl Scout without putting that extra burden on the parent. And so they're like, yeah, I'll buy cookies from her. I know there's shipping charges. That's not a big deal. I want to support Susie and her efforts, so I will totally order cookies and have those shipped. So we definitely see that that a large volume of the shipped orders is for friends and family out of state from where the girl lives. So it's definitely a nice option now to be able to really increase the reach of friends and family from far away. So for shipped orders, that's great. And girl delivery, again, you guys, you're going to be set. This is, again, a great tool to reach a lot of people in a fairly quick and easy manner.
Question from a volunteer, and the answer is, if you are in eBuddy as a troop cookie chair, a troop leader, or a service unit cookie chair, you will get the registration email. So if you don't get it, you need to let me know. A troop leader who got an email for just one of her troops, is there a way, Heather, you probably should take this one. She didn't get an email for her second troop. Shouldn't she be able to do it from one email?
Yep. Yeah, we didn't, it doesn't send out multiple emails. So if you're a troop manager of troop, 2 or 3 troops, a service unit manager, you don't get 4 different registration emails. You get one. When you're in, you'll see, you can choose between which role you want to do. So which are your troops or service units, whatever it is you are, but you don't get a separate registration email for each of those roles, because that would have been a lot for you guys.
And then a question about, there is no delivery charge for girl delivery. That's true. Only shipped cookies have a delivery charge. Somebody's asking about if all the information will be in eBuddy. Yes. Is the shipping going to be excessively high again? Do you want to take that one about the costs, Heather?
Yeah, the shipping has gone down a little bit on 2 of the tiers, but by a little bit I mean 5 cents. So this is the true cost of shipping. Unfortunately, we're all pretty spoiled and used to Amazon. I want everything in 2 days, and I don't want to have to pay shipping for it. That is simply not an option for us. All those other vendors where you're getting that, or you're ordering $50 worth and getting free shipping, that cost is embedded other places. So there's not really a way for us to do that without having your council raise the cost of cookies significantly or cut into your troop profit. So we are definitely, our business model is a little bit different and puts us at a disadvantage. So it's not, we can't offer something free or reduce shipping as a result without, again, cutting into your bottom line one way or the other. So they have absolutely spent a bunch of time negotiating the rates down as low as they possibly can, and it's cheaper than going to the post office and doing it yourself, and a lot easier time-saving wise. It's right on par too with, if you were ordering food products from other vendors, you would find it's right on par with that. And a lot of people said, I don't know if you do a nut and candy sale, but a lot of people said, yeah, cookies is way cheaper to ship than nuts and candy.
And yes, all parents should receive this email. Now, let me explain how that happens. We pull a registration list, and it was pulled in December. So all girls who were registered by mid-December should have been on that spreadsheet and were loaded into eBuddy, which is our program where we record cookie sales and cookie information. Leaders are familiar with that. And then they also were transferred over to Digital Cookie with the parent information. However, if a girl was not registered by that date, then she is not in eBuddy yet. We are adding girls. We're doing another upload at the end of this week. And sometimes, for whatever reason, the technology isn't perfect, and sometimes girls, even though they should have been on that initial report, weren't. So we just need to contact us if you didn't get a Digital Cookie invitation, and we will look into it for you. Could a parent place a large order to be delivered at their workplace? They could, but the the delivery charges start over again at, what's the number, Heather?
So the shipping rates go like 4 to 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 11 and 12, and then it starts over again at 13 with that 1 to 6 rate all over again.
Right. So you can do it if the cost is not prohibitive to you.
And I've definitely seen some orders who did that. So you know, some companies are willing to, you know, to put forth the shipping. They recognize that it's on par with what it would be, you know, in the real world when they are able to support the girl and her family and make a big push and have. I heard one a couple years ago, like they wanted 100 boxes of tagalongs delivered for an all-staff meeting, so they ordered 100 boxes of tagalongs.
One more question I'm going to answer, and then we should move on to the rest of this presentation, and we can come back. And the question is, can we start selling digital cookies right away? You can start selling them on February 3rd when our initial order period begins. The system will not send out the emails to customers until that date. You can go in now and set up your daughter's website and get it all ready to go. Okay, Heather, want to move on?
All right. So you've made it through the registration process. Excuse me. Setting up your site, also very easy. Again, this isn't something we get questions on. So most of the questions that come in are really about getting people registered. So once you're on with your Girl Scout, you're going to be setting up your site. So there's a couple things that she has to do. She has to set what her personal goal is. So hopefully she's made that determination already. Maybe she's used a combination of, you know, what the troop is going to need to do, what they're looking to do, how many boxes she needs to sell there. Maybe she thought, oh, I really want this stuff thing on the back of the order card. That's my goal. Maybe it's somewhere in between there, or I sold 50 boxes last year. I think I can sell 75 this year. Whatever it is, she's going to enter her goal here. There's also an opportunity for her to enter her offline sales. So that's the boxes she sold on her order card, boxes she sold at booths. And so she should go back and update this periodically because it updates her graph of how many boxes she sold on her home page. So girls get a little frustrated. They know they've sold boxes of cookies, and when they come in and they see only their digital cookies on here, they get a little frustrated. I know I've sold more cookies than that. Also, customers see how many boxes of cookies the girl has sold combined, both online and offline, and how close she is to reaching her goal. So having girls come back to the site setup page to enter their boxes sold offline is a pretty important thing to remember to do at various points during the sale. The next part is entering a cookie story. So this is great. It just gives girls some prompting here. So the first part, it's asking the girl to talk about what her troop has said they want to do with their cookie money. So now she's set a personal goal and a troop goal, which is great. Girls with goals sell more when they've got a goal. They're just like, oh, I'm going to sell some boxes of cookies. A, when someone asks, oh, what are you going to do? Why are you selling cookies? She doesn't really have an answer. And B, without a goal, you know, she's going to sell a few boxes. But if she's got a goal of 75, 150, whatever that box is, she's going to push harder to make sure she hits that goal. The second part is telling your customers what you've learned from selling cookies. So this is a great opportunity for the girl to tell a little bit more about herself and her cookie experience. And girls can go, you know, the customers don't see these prompting cues right here, so the girl doesn't have to stick to these questions. She can go off script and write whatever she wants within the couple hundred character limit here. I can't remember how many it is, so but a couple hundred characters. So after that, there is the opportunity for the girl to upload her own photo or her own video, or she can use a photo from the existing ones that are on the website or the existing video. Once she's done that, at the bottom of the page is a green button that says See Your Site and Publish. For girls 13 and over who are setting up their site, their button says See Your Site and Submit for Approval. So for girls not over 13, under 13, they click this button. Girls and parents get a chance to look at the website, say, okay, this is what it looks like, this is her story, this is her photo here, here's, you know, how her online and offline boxes are stacking up. Okay, it looks great. I'm going to click Edit if I want to make changes, or Approve and Publish. For girls 13 and over, they will see this preview of their website and can edit if they want to, but it triggers an email to the parent. And it says, hey parents, your Girl Scout has set up her site. we need you to go in and approve it. So mom has to come in, look at it, make sure that the girl's not putting any personally identifying information out there, like including her last name or anything that really, you know, if somebody were just looking at it, they'd be able to figure out who she was. That they're using appropriate photos, and not that we have a rash of Girl Scouts using inappropriate photos, but something that where the girl is in the photo, not the girl in a group of her friends. If her friends don't all have permission to be on there. So, you know, that she's just using an appropriate photo there, and then mom can go ahead and approve it. So the photos and videos are a pretty important part here. So again, you can guess to yourself, or put in the chat box if you're feeling really lucky. How much higher were girls' sales if they uploaded a photo, and how much higher were they if they uploaded a video? Put that number in your head. So they're significantly higher. So this is not doing anything. Putting in a personalized photo almost doubled their sales. Putting in a personalized video tripled their sales. Now, do I think that all these girls who put in personalized videos should, you know, probably start planning out their outfit for the Oscars right now? No. I mean, I think they're very cute and adorable videos, most of them. But it's not so much the act of the video incenting customers to buy, but girls, once they've got that video, we found that they really want everyone to see it. So they're asking, Mom, can I send this video to, you know, Aunt Susie and Uncle Dennis, and who else can I send this video to? So they're really wanting to get the word out there. The personalized photos can be a pretty important part, because when the girl sends out an email to the customer from the system, it says, you know, I'm Susie and I'm selling Girl Scout cookies. Now, if, you know, if there's a bunch of Susies that the particular customer knows, she's like, I'm not really sure who this is. So she clicks on the link to go see more. She's going to see that picture and she's like, oh, right. Susie, right, I used to work with her mom. I remember when she was a little baby and then they moved, and I totally would buy cookies from her. So having that photo will help the customer go, oh, I do know who this person is. So we definitely encourage photos and videos in there. I'm going to pause for a moment, and you can definitely answer a few questions while I'm going to go out and try and give us a look at the site here while you field a couple questions, Roberta.
Okay, I know Heather's going to get to this, but there was a question about if a customer selects girl delivery, because they could click on that by mistake. So maybe it's a grandmother who lives in another state and she's ordered cookies and she clicked on girl delivery by mistake. She wants to know, does the system know that that's not going to happen? No, the system doesn't know that, but there is an opportunity and in fact a requirement for the parent to approve that sale for delivery. So if the parent recognizes that and says, oh my gosh, this is grandma and she lives 6 states away and we're not going there anytime soon, she must have made a mistake, then the parent can say, no, I'm not going to approve this for delivery. And then it reverts back to whatever grandma's second choice was, which would be either to donate the cookies or to cancel the order. So the order would likely be canceled, and then grandma could go in and start over again if she was told about the mistake that she made. So there is a safeguard. It's not within the system, it's with the parents. Heather, tell me when you're ready.
All right, hopefully my screen's showing up again.
And somebody asked, what's the shipping cost for 1 to 3 boxes? For shipping, it has to be an order of at least 4 boxes, just like it was last year. Okay.
Thank you. Great question, though. So I forget that. I just jumped in at 4 and didn't explain that, so thank you. So logging in, so this particular account has both a parent and a troop leader, so we're going to look at the parent view too right now. So when they log in, parent sees a home page here with a girl, and just a cute little fun fact, the background changes based on what age level she is, and the little insignia tab indicates what age level she is too. So this is great. If you see that she's a brownie, you're seeing the J for junior up here, then you could say, oh, it's not right here, and you could definitely let your council know that. So when they're in, you can click on Cookie Page Setup, Now this is an account that's already set up and we use it all the time just for testing stuff, so it won't be zeroed out. We're going to click edit. So we can enter the number of boxes we want to sell. We're just going to keep her at 250 for now. And she sold 52 offline, and clearly she had 5 different businesses who wanted to buy 100 boxes of Tiger Lims from her. She sold 658 boxes, amazing. So, and this number updates automatically. It's just the offline that has to be entered. The cookie story's here, so they type it in. This girl wants to do service projects with food bank. They're going ice skating, camping to a water park. This girl says, I'd love to ask people to buy cookies. When they say yes, of course, she'd like to ask people to buy cookies when they say no. So girl writes the story, click save. And so if they choose one from existing photos here, these photos are great. Girls love them. They have a really hard time because they all do love a selfie, but they love these photos too. So they might choose one of these, or they might choose a photo. Again, based on the stats, I would definitely recommend uploading your own photos. So real easy uploader. If you're doing a video, I recommend that folks need to kind of short. Running how long it can be, so we recommend put on the short side. And it does upload to a private.
Heather, you're breaking up. I don't know if it's your computer or mine.
Oh, sorry. I'll hold my mic down because I'm a little around and moving my hands around it. It does load to a private site on Vimeo, so no one can search and find this video. So our security team definitely would not let that happen. But uploading a video can take a few minutes, so just be prepared to be patient on that. So again, when she's got that all set, she clicks see your site and publish. Pardon me. So they can review the site, say, oh, yep, that's what I want it to look like. Yeah, that works for me. You'll see the boxes are gray. So this is going to go away. By the way, this little warning here, just ignore it. But you can't actually type in the boxes because it's just a preview. This is what I want it to look like. I'm going to click approve and publish, or I want to go make some changes. I can go click edit it. So that's all there is to the site setup. It's a pretty easy process. Now, setting up a site is a great start, but we want people to buy cookies. So we're going to talk about customers now. So girls who used Digital Cookie last year, their customers will be in there from previous years. So if they added them to the customer list, the customer is going to be there. Girls can also add customers. They can add customers one by one, or they can import. So if you did fall sale, you could export it out of your fall sale site, import it into here. You could take mom's address book and import it in here. It's not super slick where you click, import, and it says, hey, which of these email services do you want to use and who do you want to add? It's not quite that fancy. So there is the in-between step of you have to put it into an Excel file in order to import it. But it's definitely an option. You have to key everyone in. And they do stay with the girl from year to year. So if you put them in, they're going to be there in the future. And again, this is girls 13 and over have to do this. They can't be from the parent site. So once girls have customers loaded, they have options to send some marketing emails. So they can click who they want to send the emails to, click the send marketing email. It'll give them a choice of 3 emails, one that says open for business, one that says there's still time to buy cookies, and another that they can use for thank yous. So they select which email they want to send, click send, and it's done. The great thing is it tracks those. So it's going to say that you last sent an email to this person on this date, and it's going to let the girl know what email she sent. You sent open for business on January 21st, or for you guys, February 3rd. And did they buy cookies, yes or no? So this is great email marketing 101. So girl's going to send the email. Maybe a week, 10 days later, mom and daughter are going to come back in. They're going to look at who bought cookies and who didn't. They're going to say, oh, these 7 people didn't buy yet. Let's check those boxes. Let's send them. There's still time to order cookies. Because, they probably do want to buy cookies. They just got busy. So now another week or 10 days later, mom and daughter can go back in, add some more customers, send them open for business, see who hasn't bought, there's still time to order cookies, send out some thank you emails to people. So the girl can see that, hey, look, you know what? I do have to send these emails to people sometimes 2 and 3 times in order to get them to buy cookies, because that's just the way the world works. So they can send those. They do have to be sent by the girl. So unlike the fall sale, my understanding is one of the fall sale vendors, those emails go out automatically like once a week. Now that's not the case here. So good news, bad news. A, you don't annoy people. But B, there's potentially lost sale if the girl isn't sending the email again to remind that person to make a purchase. Girls also have, once they're done setting up their site and you're open for business, right here, they have their very own URL. They have set up their own website. They've set up an e-commerce website of their very own, and there's a URL here. So girls and parents can copy that link. A couple different things. Older girls have told us they love to personalize the email. So this one here comes standard. You can't make any changes to it, which if you've got younger girls, you know how long it takes for girls to type an email, so this is probably the good way to have them send out emails. For older girls, it's great skill building, and girls have told us they like the opportunity to think about how to present themselves in an email in a professional manner. So girls can personalize an email saying, you know, our troop is planning we're planning to go to our chalet in 2018. I've got a 1,000-box cookie goal. I'm working really hard to get there. It would be great if you could support me. And here's a link to buy cookies from me. So girls can customize those websites and include that link. You can also post this on Facebook if it's set to friends and family. So it's got to be set to private, where only friends and family can see it. Then it can be posted on Facebook. In the terms and conditions that you signed, the parents have signed, it says we will only sell to friends and family. So you can't put this on Twitter, you can't put this on Craigslist, you can't put this on a Facebook garage sale site, because those are not friends and family that potentially see that. Anyone can find you on Twitter, Instagram, the garage sale sites, things like that. So you have to, Facebook, where you have that option set to private, you can use for putting a link on there. So again, I've also seen girls who've done some great things with this. They've done like an I'll be back card. So they're going door to door, and the customer's not home. They can say, hey, sorry I missed you. I'm selling Girl Scout cookies. Here's a link to my website if you want to buy cookies. You can order them online, and I'll be back in middle of February, middle of March, middle of April, whatever your delivery dates are there, to deliver those cookies to you. So another great sales tool that some girls are leveraging as well. So I'm going to pause and see if there's any questions about that so far.
Okay. How can I see the URL of my daughter's site after I set it up? It is not letting me view it, saying the sale has not started yet.
Yep, you won't see it until the sale is live, until your sale starts. I think you said February 3rd is your sale start date.
Mm-hmm.
So February 3rd, you'll have that URL.
Good. We did not say that fall product sale email addresses would be in the system. The email address is the customer list from last year. If you were participated in Digital Cookie last year, will be there. But you can export your customer list from the fall product sale to an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can import it to the Digital Cookie. Mm-hmm. Are there different cookies offered? No, it's the same cookies that we offer on our order card. Do I need a separate link to set up my Scouts page if I have an account as a leader? And the answer to that is no, because you can select each role from one link. So you can select the parent role, and then you'll be able to set up your daughter's site.
Yep. And if you can't see both those roles, let the council know.
Right. And yes, this is a webinar just for Digital Cookie.
Although, I've got some jokes I could tell later if you wanted. Not really. Got to work on those, though.
Here's someone that says she's in Digital Cookie, but it's not giving me an option to switch to parent. It only has troop information. If it's not giving you an option as a parent, then it's possible that your daughter didn't make it into the upload, or there was some problem with it. So if you send us a separate email, we can look into that. And that's really all the questions for right now.
All right, excellent. So here's that step 4. I said there's 4 easy steps, and step 4 is sort of optional, tracking the goal. So again, this is great. Girls have told us they love seeing their progress bar. They love seeing when they've got a sale. They know they've got a sale. They've gone into their customers and have seen people buy cookies. They love seeing it tick up. So going back with the girl on a regular basis really delights the girl. And that's where it's important to remember to update those offline sales too. The bottom part of her homepage is a great secret. I think no one probably goes below this on the homepage. And here's these great graphs that girls love too. They love seeing it. If they learn bars and graphs in school, here it is. It applies to them, and it's not just counting M&Ms to make a graph, but it's their actual cookies that they have sold in this awesome graph. It's also great if you've got a younger girl who hasn't learned that in school yet. Take a few minutes to explain one of them to her. Then come, second, third grade, and she's learning that stuff. It won't be a big deal. She'll have seen graphs for a couple of years, and she's like, oh yeah, I knew that stuff. So she'll have an easier time, just another way to help give girls that leg up in math. But the 4.5 for you guys, that's just as important as seeing results, or tracking your goal is seeing results. So when you get a delivery order, an in-person delivery order, the parent's going to get an email saying, hey, you've got a delivery order to approve. So parents have 10 days to approve the order for the customer. Now the customer's had to make a decision when she purchases the cookies. If mom can't approve that order, like the example Roberta gave earlier, somebody doesn't live anywhere near you, what do you want? Do you want that order canceled, or do you want it donated? So parents have 10 days to approve the order. And what's interesting is some people said, some leaders are like, oh, these parents aren't going to approve them. Our developers actually have looked at some stuff, and most orders are approved within a day. So parents are getting the email. They're hopefully opening it up with their daughter saying, hey, let's see who bought cookies from us. They're looking at that. They're approving the order and moving on from there. So I think last year we had like 37 or 78 orders that weren't approved overall. So mostly parents are approving these. It's not really generally an issue. So parent can, by the way, parent can click on the order number to see, or click on the name, sorry, to see what that order is made up of. So, she can say, okay, John, yep, John's in Santa Rosa. I'm going to be out there on vacation in spring break, so I can bring the cookies to him then. Or, you know what, Dad's got to go see Grandpa or Grandma here in Coral Gables next month, so she can, we can take the cookies to them, or not. So I might reject the order or decline the order instead, or I'm going to approve the order. Or she might open this up and say they wanted 12 boxes of toffee, and they can't get 12 boxes of toffee because my leader said I can only get 3. Not sure what your situation is in your council, but just keeping an eye on that too if you have some limitations. So once the parent has approved the order, it moves down to this nice little section here of all the ones that are approved, waiting to be delivered. So when your initial order is due, it's a great time to come in, click Export, or click Select All first, then click Export. It will bring up an Excel sheet of all of the orders you have, how many are donated, the cookies by variety. So parents, you can turn that into your leaders along with your order card and say, here are all my orders. Because these cookies still need to get ordered. In-person delivery orders basically function like an order card order where they paid online. So you need to let the leader know, I need these 15 boxes of cookies here, and here's what I need. Or you could just put one extra line on your order card and say DOC orders and put in, what is it, 422 tag-alongs, however many minutes. So just make sure that you order these cookies for in-person delivery. They don't, we had parents last year who said, well, it said in-person delivery, so I thought they were going to be delivered to me in person so my daughter could deliver them. So that's not what it means. We haven't perfected the Girl Scout drones yet, and if we did, I'm sure the shipping would probably go up on that side. So parents need to order these cookies. So if you're a leader, we'll talk about what you can see and how you can help on this. But parents should make sure to export this and submit it to the leader to make sure the cookies get ordered. So questions on that?
Okay, somebody just heard you mention Toffee-Tastics and a limitation. She was just saying if there's a limitation. There is no limitation on the number of Toffee-Tastics that a girl can have on her order card.
Great.
So don't worry about that.
Lucky. I'm limited to a case out here, so you guys are lucky.
Yeah. Yes, you need to export that list of sales. You should export it. You don't really have to. You can just put a line on the order card with the total number, but I would print that list and attach it as well because it's a double check for everybody, and you want to make sure that you have those cookies. Let me see. Oh my. Okay. Let's see. I'm a volunteer leader. I'm a volunteer leader for my granddaughter's troop. Once I register my granddaughter, she can start selling cookies on February 3rd, only to those people that you have given an email to. Do these cookies come at the same time as when they would normally start selling with the order form, or do they get it before? The in-person delivery or girl delivery cookies will arrive with the rest of the troops' cookie order at their delivery in April. So cookies that are ordered on Digital Cookie from us for girl delivery will be delivered in April. If they want them shipped, they get shipped right away. But for girl delivery, they have to wait until our cookies are received. We don't have any cookies yet. And let me look. I think someone wants to know, is there any data that shows how popular in-person delivery is?
We've got some stats on how many boxes are sold per order, and it's a little hard to tell because I've got the overall stats, and right now, and we don't even have all the councils that are on Digital Cookie. Not quite all of them use girl delivery for a couple different reasons, and girl delivery orders were, I think, more than 50% of the orders right now. So it just depends on a lot of things, but I would say that it's, for most councils, probably 50% of the volume on Digital Cookie is in-person delivery.
Heather, would you point out again where that export feature is? It's right there by the red arrow, but could you put your pointer there? Someone's asking.
Yep, absolutely, right here. And this is the cookie orders tab. So the top, see me looking here. I'll go show you guys the view real quick. So cookie orders right here, and you'll scroll down, delivered, and you just select which ones you want, and you're going to click export. And then once you get those delivered, you should be going back in and actually marking them as delivered as well. So there's a bottom part of the page that lists all of your orders as well. So any that were shipped or donated, once you deliver them, they're going to show up here as well. So once you deliver them, go mark them delivered and get them out of your way. But export is right here. Next up, bottom part of the page there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a look at what customers see. So if you send an email to customers from the system, the email is going to come out looking like this. It's going to say, visit my Digital Cookie site. It's going to say who it's to and who it's from. So, again, just the girl's first name and your council name here. So, again, I'm going to be like, oh, I don't, Catherine, I know a couple Catherines. Let's see. I'm going to click on order now to see who it is. So customer sees this. She sees the girl's cookie story, her photo if she's got it or whatever photo she's using, or video, the little story here, her progress to goal. And this is why we've talked about it's so important, especially later in the sale, to update the goal. So from a customer psychology standpoint, So right now, this girl, she's like halfway to her goal. Awesome. I'm gonna buy 4 or 5 boxes. I love Samoas. I love mints. I'm gonna try the new s'mores. My, grandma loves lemon cookies. But as the sale gets closer to the end, the girl's really getting closer to her goal, and I see, once she's got 38 boxes to her goal or 24 boxes to her goal, now suddenly I'm like, wow, if I just reached a little and I bought 10 boxes, I could cut her goal in half. I might buy a case, cut that goal in half or a third. So psychologically, as customers see that that girl is closing in on her goal, they increase their purchases. But what's really funny is they actually want to go back in and see how this dash bar or this progress bar has changed. It takes a little while to change for the customer to see their impact. But and I actually had a leader a couple months ago tell me that her troop was doing some kind of fundraising, and she saw this exact thing. They were fundraising for something, and as it got closer, the people who were donating, and this was not a Girl Scout event because you can't just solicit donations, of course, were getting closer. They were getting bigger as they got closer and closer to their goal. And somebody actually said that too, like, oh, you guys are so close. I totally donated a little extra to get you there. So as girls close in on their sale, make sure they're updating what their overall sales are here to inspire the customer. So the actual customer buying thing is pretty easy. So they enter how many boxes of cookies they want. It does the math over here. If they want to donate cookies, it adds it in here. They choose whether they want to ship the cookies or in-person delivery. If they choose ship, the shipping fee comes up here as well. They can click Start Checkout. And they're taken to a pretty standard checkout page, saying where they're going to ship it to. It has them go through credit card information, enter their credit card. It asks them, is that page on here? Yep, it asks them how do they know the Girl Scout? Is she a friend or family member, community, or other? It gives them the option if they want to know about joining or volunteering and were they a Girl Scout, so that your council can help build their alumni roles. We know there's a lot of Girl Scout alumni out there that we haven't done a good job of tapping into yet, but we're hoping to soon. Customer says, yes, that looks right. It's really clear with shipping and handling what it is. They can make changes, or they can click Place Order. They get a little confirmation screen telling them what their order number is. If it's going to be delivered, it says, I think, 3 to 10 weeks, because we've got counsel to start selling in December and don't get cookies until February, so it's at 10 weeks. And we have to do that by law. If it's in shipping, it'll say 2 to 10 days for them. So pretty standard. It's not a difficult checkout process. Customers figure out how to use it. So not to say that there's not sometimes issues, but usually that's by credit card, or they're kind of flipping back and forth between screens. But overall, using the site is not difficult for the customers. So before I move on, questions about the customer view?
There's not really any questions about the customer view. There are some general questions, but I think I'm going to wait until you show the leaders what they're going to see, because some of these questions will be answered, and then I'll go back through them.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So we're also going to talk about the mobile app here real quick. So there is a mobile app. You can find it in the iTunes Store or on Google Play. It's not available for Windows. So if you're using a tablet, if you have a Windows-based tablet, it won't work. But you can still use the regular website from your tablet, and it's mobile responsive, so most of the stuff will work fine, which is great, because now you've got in-person delivery. So potentially, a super savvy girl could have her handy-dandy little tablet out, and she could be going door to door and taking orders right on her tablet. Wouldn't that be a slick 21st century business skill right there? So to do that, you download the app and just search for Digital Cookie. There's not other things out there when I last looked. So then you log in. Now you do have to have your site set up and approved in order for this to work. So the app is really only for sales. It's not for doing the setup and things like that. It's really just a sales tool. So you log in. Now if you're a parent of somebody 13 or over, you can't log in. This is only for selling. So as a parent of a 13-year-old or over, you aren't selling the cookies. The girl is selling from her site, so there's not an option. You can't log in under your account. Once you do, though, girl logs in, parent logs in. It's a simple app. There's not a lot it does. There's 3 things. One of them is tips, which has some safety and selling tips. I've never heard anyone going there. I could imagine the exception might be some girl saying, Mom, I got to read all the selling tips, because she just doesn't want to give up Mom's phone. So, but beyond that, they can click on the pink email my site. So this is handy. You know, you're at the grocery store, picked up your daughter from school. You're at the grocery store. She's got her uniform on. You picked her up after her troop meeting. So it says, oh, you know, hi, I want to buy some Girl Scout cookies. You know, you recognize them from the neighborhood, and you're like, oh, I don't have an order card on me right now, but I do have my phone. So let me send you a link to my site. So they can log in. They can enter the customer's name and email address, and click send email. And it sends them an email. So it basically does an end run on that customer page. So it puts them into the customers and sends them that email. So now they're in the customer list. So when the girl and her parent are going back in to see who's purchased cookies and who hasn't, the customer's there. They can send out the reminder email as well. You know, also a great tool. Somebody says, oh, I don't have any money on me. I left my wallet at home. I wasn't expecting my cookies today. Same thing. Let me send you a link. You can go ahead and buy those, and I'll deliver them when I get those cookies. Also, this goes back to a little bit the question earlier, which I hopefully I'll be able to find that stat here before we're done. That an average cookie order right now is about 4 boxes. So if your daughter has an order card, she's going door to door. Overall, the average is about 4 boxes. Customers will buy about 4 boxes at a booth sale. Digital cookie sales are closer to 7 boxes. So it's just under 8 boxes for shipped orders, and it's just a little under 7 for girl delivery orders. Now, what we think is happening, and the bakery has done some research on it too from when they had Cookie Club, it's not so much the fact that they can use a credit card as they've got time to think about it. So they get this email, and maybe they get that reminder email. Hopefully the girls are doing those. And like, oh yeah, I got to go buy cookies. So, and I did this with a magazine sale. Okay, I gotta buy magazines for my daughter. I got the reminder. Oh, I gotta buy emails. Third email, like, oh, I gotta buy magazines. I told her I would. She really wants that patch. So I was gonna buy her a magazine and me a magazine. It's, knowing me, probably the last night before it's too late to buy magazines. I'm got a few minutes, log in or get my app or get my email. I'm still on my phone browsing through magazines. I get her magazine. I was like, oh, if I got her one, I should probably get her brother one. So I got him one. I'm like, okay, I'm determined I'm going to get the 2-pack of Better Homes and Garden and Family Circle, I think it was. I'll be honest, that's what I got. Great deal, love that. As I'm looking through that, I'm like seeing all the bargains because I needed to find the combo pack for me. I see, oh, they've got like half year Sports Illustrated, good price. My husband's really into football. I'll get him that. He'll get it just for football season. Perfect. So now, because I had that time, instead of buying 2 magazines, I now just doubled my order and bought 4 magazines. So we think that's what's happening. When customers get this site, they've got a little more time to think about it. They are, instead of having a girl in front of them with their order card, and you're trying to make that decision with all that pressure of, there's a darling little, 7-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old in front of you buying cookies. You're like, oh, buy some instant Samoas. Now you're like, oh, lemon cookies, Grandma loves lemon. Or the s'mores, look at that. Those sound really good. I want to try a couple of those boxes too. So having that time for that customer to kind of think through her purchase, we think is why they're actually increasing the number of boxes they sold. So Share My Site is very useful for that, was my point. So the app also can be used for sales. So when they click the order, here it is, the new cookie order button here. The cookies all come up. You scroll up or down to see the different kinds, and the pictures are just deliciously mouthwatering. I can't even begin to tell you how delicious they look on here. The girl's going to say she wants, 2 Samoas for the customer. You ask her if she wants to donate cookies. Customer selects what she wants. The girl enters it, and then they click checkout. So now, how would you like to get your cookies? So give cookies to customer now will be an option during when you have cookies. So you can say, we want to give, if you've got the cookies in your hand and you're out delivering them, you can give the cookies to the customer now. You've got your wagon of cookies, somebody says, oh, I want Girl Scout cookies. You've got extra, you sell them cookies. Oh, I don't need cash on me. Is that okay? You can say, yeah, we can take your credit card, and you can enter the order and take the payment here. You also can use this if you're out delivering cookies and somebody says, I don't have cash on me, I don't have a checkbook, can you come back later, I'll have money. You can say, well, we can take your credit card now. So you can enter the order on the app. It won't duplicate the order because we'll explain that in a second, but it's not boxes. Remember how you had to export your order in order to get those cookies? Entering it on the app doesn't add cookies to your total either, just money. So if you're out delivering cookies and you need to take your credit card, you can click Give Cookies to Customer now. Also a great tool, you're out selling cookies and says, oh yeah, I'm going to send them to my daughter or son at college or the military. You say, you know what, we can take the order on the app, you can have them, take your credit card, you can have them shipped and they'll get them in a few days. Then you don't have to worry about going to the post office. Just so you know, we do ship to Alaska, 48 states, plus Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, APO, and FPO boxes. There is a $5 surcharge for those, but that is an incredibly reasonable price. If you've got, family and friends overseas in the military, $5 extra on top of the regular shipping is a screaming deal to get cookies to anywhere in the world on an APO, FPO box. So if you've got military family or friends, I definitely recommend that you are using Digital Cookie to sell them cookies and tell them to ask all their friends on base who else needs cookies from your daughter. Also, in-person delivery is an option that will go off when in-person delivery goes off, which is, I believe, after your initial order. So this won't appear as an option at that point. So after that, again, nothing that you can't figure out. Enter who those cookies are going to. Those same questions that you might have seen on the website. If you want to join or volunteer, are you alumni? Review the order. The girl's going to show the customer, hey, it looks like you ordered 3 boxes of mints and 2 boxes for donation, and we'll pretend they were being shipped to an APO box, and so there's a $5 surcharge. Does this all look right? Yep. And they click place order. Now, the credit card, you might notice that the swiper suddenly appeared in your inbox, so there's not a swiper for this. The credit card number has to be keyed in, so just be mindful of where you're at, that the customer isn't in a busy place giving you her credit card number, that somebody might be listening to you. We also don't want the phone to be handed to the customer. There's that slim chance the customer's going to take the phone and run away, and your phone's gone. But our security team is also concerned that, a real savvy criminal could, with a few keystrokes, say, oh, sorry, I made a mistake, I hit a wrong button, they could, put some bad things on your phone that's going to capture credit card numbers. So we don't want the girl giving the phone to somebody else. So typing in the credit card number, I was like, oh, this is such a pain, but I've actually had lots of parents and leaders say, it totally doesn't take that long at all, it's not a pain. So they do that, they click place order, and they get a confirmation screen as well. So that's how the app works. So I'm going to pause for app questions.
And we do have a few of those.
Okay.
Someone wants to know, if you have a swiper, will it work with the Digital Cookie app?
Nope, it won't integrate in. So if you've got a swiper tied to any kind of credit card program, it's outside of this. It won't integrate into this.
Okay. Is the app active now? No, it will not be active until February 3rd when our cookie sale begins. Somebody else wanted to know, could we use it at a booth sale? And Heather, I think I have the answer right, but correct me if I'm wrong. You can use it at a booth sale, and it would be the Deliver Cookies Now selection.
Yeah, the cookies in hand. Yep, you can definitely use it at a booth sale and use that cookies in hand option. Absolutely. Remember, though, again, busy place, so think about how you're going to, a safe way to get that credit card information if it's busy. And, manually typing a credit card number, can take a little bit of time. So just kind of think about your booth sale. Also, for using it for booth sale, remember this is per girl. So this app is a per girl app. So if your troop is at a booth sale, this is going to be, all the sales are going to end up tied to one girl. So you've got some options. You can say, you know what, we're going to have 3 girls with phones at the booth, and they're all going to use their app, and they're going to take turns. Who gets the sale is going to take turns on that. Or we're going to log in, and then, in 15 minutes, we're going to log out and log a different girl in, so we're going to split the sales that way. Also, and this is sort of for leaders here, parents, you can just ignore this. It's a little over your head. On the back end, in-hand orders, are just a financial transaction. There's no boxes associated with it. So at the end of the sale, you could say, okay, maybe I had them all going to one girl. It shows that, $175 came in hand during that period. I'm going to do a negative 175 on her girl orders tab. I'm going to add those boxes in Boots like I was going to anyway, because if you're an eBuddy and you're adding Boots sale boxes, it automatically attributes the money to it. So we can get into more detail. We definitely will. But you can do some fancy footwork on the back end of the leader also. But just go in knowing that it's two. All the sales go to one girl, or whoever's logged into the app gets the sale. But you can do some things in the back end to do something about that.
Right. Their daughter has a Wi-Fi only, a tablet that's Wi-Fi only. Can she take orders while not connected to the Wi-Fi that will upload when she gets home and connects?
No, there's not an offline option on the app because there's too much dynamic content on it. So there's not a way to do that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Somebody wants to know, can the girls use Digital Cookie for Goal Getter? So that's after the initial order period. They can, but there's no in-person delivery. But they can use it for donations or for shipped orders. And someone else wants to know, will digital cookies sold be separated by dates to help toward initial order incentives and overall sales? Yes. What we do is we stop at the end of initial order, March 5th. We shut off the flow from Digital Cookie into eBuddy. So only the cookies that have already gone into eBuddy will be counted toward the girl's initial order. And that will count towards her rewards because we have initial order rewards. Once we have all of that done and we've sent our order for initial order rewards, then we turn the flow back on again, and those cookies will count towards the final rewards. Okay, I think we don't have any more about, just let me scroll down to the bottom. You don't have to use the app. No, that's another thing that's optional. They would like the name of the app again.
Just Digital Cookie. Just search for Digital Cookie.
Okay. If we have a customer that orders online for donation, do we have to report that? No, that will flow automatically into eBuddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then there's one about, will the app update your, okay. So with the app, if a customer orders cookies to be shipped, that'll go into eBuddy.
Yep, everything here goes right in eBuddy. Yep.
But if it's cookies in hand, where they're paying for the cookies and they're getting them at a Boots sale, the money goes into eBuddy, but not the number of boxes of cookies. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
Because those will be accounted for in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Is the mobile app only for 13 years and older because they're using the girl's email address? No, it's for everybody. The younger girls would use their parents' email address, which is how their website is set up, correct, Heather?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Okay, you can move along.
All right. So just a couple of other neat things, and I'm actually, this is too cool to not go out here to check it out. Hold on. So there is games and videos available as well. And these also vary, which ones are available on the site varies by your age level, so the age level of the girl. And a often missed feature is that if you click this, there's actually more activities even. So there's a number of things on here ranging from lots of videos. So girls told us, I want to know what other girls are doing around the United States with their cookie money. What are they doing for Take Action projects? What are they doing, for travel? How, what are some inspirations? So the program team last year made a number of videos that girls can find on the site to get some inspiration for their own sales. There's also a number of printables on here. Most of these tie back to a badge. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Here's that video, the Safe Selling for Smart Cookies video. If the girl liked it so much she needs to watch it again, it's on here. It is that cool, though. There are other things like for Daisies. There's a Daisy Cookie Booth Theater. So it's a printable that can be printed out, and they cut out the characters and glue them on popsicle sticks, and they can practice what their booth show is going to look like because they haven't had one before. For Daisies and Brownies, there's the cookie song. So it's a cute, catchy little song, and it goes through the names of the cookies and tells you a little bit about them. So it's a great way for those first-time or second-time sellers to learn about the cookies, to kind of, having to a song helps it cement in their mind. There's a karaoke version of it as well. The lyrics are printable, so leaders can really have a lot of fun with that, too. But the diamonds are this top row here. So for junior and above, there are a number of cookie quizzes, and usually the testing website the testing website doesn't often work with this. Of course, never when I'm presenting it, especially doesn't work. So, but it's a number of quizzes, and they're those fun, salon.com type quizzes. So the quizzes might be like, what's your cookie selling superpower? How can you be a cookie hero? Things like that. What cookies do you just make right now? So fun quizzes for those girls. There's also Cookie Booth Bounce, and this is for Daisy Brownie Jr. We'll see if it comes up, fingers crossed. It's explained to me as an arcade-style game. And it will work. Unfortunately, the volume off last time I didn't. It's really loud, too. So girls will log in. They click Start. It has them, again, so a spend goal. And I've watched young girls, older girls figure this out. It doesn't take it doesn't take a bunch of instructions. So they figure out she's blue. They need to bounce this cookie box to her. As they go on, it gets harder. They get faster on this. They get faster across here. They throw in some non-characters. So, again, it seems pretty simple. I was like, this is kind of boring. I've watched bigger kids play this, true to the end and not want to give up my computer. I'm like, really, you're not bored? Like, this is great. I don't want to give it up yet. So I was surprised. The other one that almost never works, I'm trying to show it, is Cookie Crave. So it functions, looks like it's not going to come up at all. It functions similar to Candy Crush, which I suspect most of you have heard of that game. So girls go on this, and they have to switch cookies around to get three, I think it's 4 in a row. Truth be told, I don't own Candy Crush. I've never played it because I have enough addictions in my life and distractions that I don't do Candy Crush. But it's a great game. So as they get little trefoil points in the game, and they can use those for saving, spending, or giving as well. So within the game, there's nothing that they can do outside the game or anything. But it's fun. Again, watch younger girls figure it out without any prompting. Older girls play it all the way through the end and start over. They loved it that much. So just some fun stuff on there, too. And there's also the badges. So these vary by what age level they are, too. The 2 cookie business badges are on here. Girls can look at what step there is. They can read about it. Again, most of these things link to something within the cookie site. So our Troop Budget is going to link them to that printable. And My Cookie Story is going to link them back to setting up their cookie story. They can mark it as completed. Again, parents of girls 13 over can't mark these steps. It has to be the girl. The refrain I keep saying tonight, isn't it? As they complete it, they see their little progress bar, and when it's done, it lets them know congratulations. It does let them know to tell their troop leader, or they can buy it online. Troop leaders are not automatically communicated. If somebody earns this badge, it doesn't automatically tell them they've earned it. So they do have to tell the leader that. So a couple other fun things that are on the site too, just to make sure you check out. And it's wrong webinar. Hold on. Here we go. Badges. All right. So that's the bulk of the parent one. So we're going to get into the troop leader nitty-gritty here. We'll get your questions for parents, and then anyone who is a leader who wants to stick around, we'll cover what you guys would need to know in terms of some of the back-end stuff here. and parents are welcome to stay on or, to go about their business for the evening. But I will turn it over to Roberta for questions for right now.
Okay. There's still some confusion about the in-hand option on the app. Do we keep a record of the amount of boxes to account for in eBuddy, and how?
So in hand assumes you already have those cookies. So let's say you ordered 150 boxes of cookies. You've got orders for 100 of those between your order card and DOC. So you got 50 extra boxes because your daughter had to have the thing that was at 150. So you're like, well, we'll sell them. So you've already got those 150 boxes and you've got to pay for them. You're out with your wagon. You've got those 50 extra boxes. Somebody buys another 3 of them out of your wagon. You use the cookies in hand. It's going to tell eBuddy that you got money for 3 boxes of cookies today. You already have those cookies and you have to pay for them. So it's not going to give you any extra cookies in eBuddy because you don't want them because you've already got the cookies. So in hand assumes you already have those, you've gotten those somehow, and it's basically just saying, hey, look, we got some money for those cookies. That's the parent now owes for 3 less boxes of cookies because she got a credit card payment, so it's taking it off her total there. So no inventory goes with it because you've already got those cookies somehow, and it's already accounted for in eBuddy, so it's just a payment.
Okay, that sounded clearer to me too. And the same thing if you were at a booth sale because you've already got those cookies in your troop. Now you want to get the money for the cookies, and then they have to be assigned to the girl. Some people are asking for the shipping costs, and that's something that I will get from Heather, and we can put it up on our website. We've had a few questions about that. And I think
you could see it.
The rest of the questions that I say, and if I miss a question, I will go back and look at them again and get to you individually with the answers if I have them, or I'll try to find out the answers for you. I think there's still some questions, but I think when we look at what the leader sees, some of them will be answered. And then I'll just do a quick wrap-up kind of explanation about the digital cookies and how they show up in eBuddy, because those are some of the questions too. Okay, so Heather, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So again, any parents, thank you very much for joining us this evening. I am sure you're going to have incredible success with your cookie sale overall. So we'll be excited to see that. And any leaders will jump in here. I'm going to go to just a different presentation for 1 second. So I think I accidentally closed earlier. So hold on. Bear with me. I meant to add this to the end, Roberta, and I realized earlier tonight I didn't add that. So hold on. Right, here we go. All right, so leaders, let me show this again, sorry. Share that screen. So leaders, when you log into your leader view, remember you had that choice of parent or troop leader. When you log in, you're going to see a dashboard that looks like this. Also, there's a nice little thing here. You can change back and forth between your parent, your leader, your other troop, your service unit role. But you'll recognize this. I showed it briefly. The girls have metrics that look like this. You have metrics that look like this for your troop of all the girls in your troop. And if you're a service unit manager, you would have this of all the troops in your service unit as well. Council has this of all the troops. And we actually have this of all the councils too. So it just kind of rolls up 5 different levels, same dashboard, same information being reported on it. So you can get a visual on how your troop is doing. But underneath this is where you want to go. So the bottom part of this dashboard, so this little thing here says troop. It's right underneath here. You got to scroll down a little to find it. When you go there, you're going to see it's got the council name, the service unit, and your troop number already in there. You're going to like, oh, it's blank. What's going on? Don't panic. For some reason, you have to actually click the search button, and then it populates. So then you'll see the girls in your troop. So if you see a girl and her ID number, and you don't see the parent name, parent email, and date of birth for her, that means that your counsel doesn't have that information or doesn't have the correct information for her. So she hasn't been imported in the digital cookie. So again, if you see the girl's name and ID, but not those other 3 fields, that means counsel is missing something on her, one of those most likely email, date of birth, or parent name. So at that point, would they email? Is there an email they would use to correct that, Roberta? Like info at or something like your customer care one?
Product sales at girlscoutshh.org. That's always a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Product sales. Oh, that's so easy. I like that. So you can send an email saying, hey, it looks like, Susie Jones, my troop, doesn't have the information. Here is, her ID number. Here's her parent name, her parent email, and the girl's date of birth. So can you go ahead and get her uploaded? And this is, a great thing to do now. So she's got a little bit of time to get into the system before the cookie sales start. So once the girls are in there, you'll be able to see if they've set up their site or not. If they have set up their site, you as the leader will be able to click on that site and see what the customer is going to see. Now, if you're logged in already, you'll get a little error message. You have to log out, and you can go to her site or just ignore the error message. You can't actually purchase cookies on her site, but you can still see, oh, hey, who is this? This is Jade. Jade, your website looks great. I saw you got that all set up. I love the picture you used. That was from our service project, I remember. But I saw that you said that we're planning a trip to Africa, and I don't remember talking about that in our brownie meeting, so maybe we should have a little conversation about our goals and make sure you understand what the goals are for the troop. So it's, again, just great for the leader to see what the girls are doing. The leaders can also see if the girl has emailed any customers. Now, that's only if they've emailed customers from the site. So back on the customers tab, they click those customer names and sent marketing email. If the girl has sent that link out separately in an email she wrote on her own, the system doesn't know that. So, take that with a little grain of salt. If it says 0, you can just check in and say, oh, it looks like, oh, Isla, you haven't sent any emails. How's it going? Do you need any help? You can also see how many orders are pending approval. Again, most parents are approving more than a day, so this is probably not something you have to keep an eye on overall. But if you're in there and you can see that somebody's got a couple orders pending approval, you could just check in with the parent and make sure that she knows she's got some orders pending approval. The key here for leaders is this number of orders column. You'll see it's green. You can click on that, and it brings up a screen like this for you. You'll notice it's very similar to that cookie orders page we looked at earlier. So you as the leader can now see what order the parent has, what orders they have to approve. So you can say, hey, Isla, you've got 2 orders, did you know that? And you've only got 2 days left to approve. You can also click on it and see the number of boxes. So again, you guys don't have any limitations on toffees or anything like that, so this is less of a concern for you guys. You can just say, oh yeah, it looks great, looks she's got some orders there. The best part here is once a parent's approved and they go to the to be delivered section. And what it will actually do for you as a leader is total these by variety. So you can see here the parents approved these 15 boxes of cookies for delivery. You can see that those 15 boxes are 1 Savannah, 1 Do-Si-Do, and so on. So at initial order time, hopefully you've told your parents to export that list and turn it into you. But if you've got some that didn't, or you want to double check them, or somebody says, oh yeah, I need a few extra boxes of this and this and this for, for digital cookie orders, you can go in to their orders here on this dashboard, and you can see that they need 15 boxes of digital cookie, and you can see what kind of cookies they need. So handy tool come initial order time to check up, or if you just think your parents are all flakes and you can barely get the order card in anyway from them, or if maybe they turn in their orders in a spreadsheet to you, and you have no way of knowing if they actually counted for them or not, you can ask them, but if they say, oh, I forgot to count those, you've got that information here. So that's a really important, helpful tool for you come initial order time. So I'm going to pause on that. Any questions on that, Roberta?
Well, I think you've pretty much answered the question, because there were questions about what happens if the parent doesn't turn in the orders to me. So the leaders can see them and check on them. One thing I do want to point out is don't panic if somebody doesn't turn it into you and you somehow didn't see it on here, or maybe they had a last minute order and you're really on top of things as a leader or a cookie chair and you're getting those orders entered really quickly. If you find out that somebody had an in-person delivery order, you can still get those cookies from a cupboard. And we'll have cookies in our cupboards before April 8th or April 7th when the food sales start. So, it's not going to be the end of the world if somebody doesn't send you their list and you don't get it on the girl's initial order. You'll still be able to get the cookies.
Perfect. Other questions, or are we moving on?
I don't see, let me scroll all the way to the bottom. I don't think there's any new. If you enter offline.
Okay.
If you enter offline sales, are those orders included in the export? That's just where you're tracking your orders that you would enter the offline sales, and it's just a number, correct, Heather?
Yeah, it's just a number, so no, it's not included in the export.
And no, this does not take the place of eBuddy. This is separate. We are recording this webinar. We will put it on the website if all goes well.
Excellent.
We have a leader who says she can only see her two daughters. She doesn't see the troop. If you're in eBuddy as the troop leader, you should have an option for a role as a troop leader. So, go in and look at it again. And if you can't see it, let me know. Okay.
It could be that there's, like a misspelling or an extra space or something. So, yeah, letting Roberta's team know, they can look into that.
And somebody wants to know, review how to switch from parent leader. So somebody wants to know how to switch roles.
Oh, it's here. Let me go back. And your dashboard, so your troop dashboard and your parent dashboard has the same thing as well. So you just say select a role. It's a little drop down. You can switch back and forth between your roles. That's at the top of all your pages will have it.
Okay. Somebody's asking about, which really doesn't, sort of relates to Digital Cookie, but if all your girls are not listed in eBuddy, please look at your troop guide. It gives instructions as to what you should do. I'm sure a lot of leaders on this webinar have not had their troop training yet because we just finished the service unit training on Saturday. So some of these questions that are really not Digital Cookie related will be answered when you attend your training and when you get your troop guide.
All right. We'll jump in here, and Roberta can do a little scanning, and she might dig up some extras. You guys are really, I got to commend you. I do appreciate questions. It's better than me and Roberta just talking to you and thinking you're all asleep out there. So I appreciate that you guys are asking these questions. It's great. So as a troop leader in eBuddy, these orders show up. So shipped orders, if you were around last year, this hasn't changed at all. They show up. They show ship or ship plus, which means ship plus donated. You're going to see that there's these 4 donated boxes. Here's the other kind of boxes they got, and here's the money in here. Easy peasy. You don't have to do anything. The shipped orders automatically credit to the girl. This is the girl order tab, by the way. It credits to the girl. It credits to the troop. It credits to the service unit. It credits the council. No one has to touch a single box of cookies, yet gets credit all the way both for the boxes and the money. So that's the great thing about shipped orders. So delivery orders, this is the part that's new, and it could be a little tricky for you guys. So delivery orders are going to show up as, so DOC, all these have DOC on them. This says DLVR, that's delivery, girl delivery. And that's the order number after, by the way. So you'll see that on those there is no inventory automatically assigned to them. So you'll see there's money, but no inventory. That's because this might be those 15 boxes that we looked at that we said you've got to go in, the parent's got to export and turn that in with their order card, or you're seeing that on yours. Those 15 boxes are going to be part of the initial order. So eventually there's going to be a line here, all these delivery orders came in, there's going to be a line here that says initial order. And it's going to be 150 boxes, and 15 of those were ones that you needed for digital order card orders. So you've already gotten money for those. They've prepaid. So you're going to have the money for those 15 boxes of cookies. We'll say that's $60. So it's going to show as a negative on each line, but when that initial order comes, you're going to owe for 15 less boxes than you would have for all 150 because you've got the money for those. You just got to get the cookies to the person. So in essence, don't panic. It says negative. That's expected. That's what we want because you've already got the money for the cookies. When you get that initial order, when you get those cookies, it will offset this. It will show that you're now, your total number down here is going to show you a little less for those 150 because you've got the money for them. And that's probably the most complicated thing I'm going to say tonight, so I want to make sure everyone's getting that. So were there questions about it?
There's some questions in here that are long. Let's see. Okay, I think the last question you just answered, and that's, will eBuddy reflect that money has been collected without showing how many cookies were ordered? And yes, it will. I sent this webinar out to my girls' parents to watch, but if they did not watch tonight, will they get orientation to the process when they register their daughter so that they know to approve orders? Within the site, when they set up their girls' site, does it tell them that they're going to have to approve in-person delivery orders? Does it walk them through that in the site, or is that something that the leaders are going to have to make sure to tell them?
So it doesn't walk them through, but they do get the email saying you've got a delivery, you've got an order to approve, so it'll let them know that. And it will say, you know, don't approve it if you can't get the cookies or, you know, some various things like that. And again, the fact that, you know, they are getting approved within a day, so the parents know they need to go in and approve them. But that's not something that's a big concern right now. People are getting those approved.
Okay. So the answer to the question is no, we're not doing any other, you know, this is it. This will be on our website, like I said, if all goes well, and they'll be able to watch it. But as leaders, you will have to give the parents some information, especially about the girl delivery. Everything else should be pretty obvious. Just looking through, scanning through the questions. Did that.
So real quick, while she's looking at those, as a leader, you can know that all of the sales, donated, delivered, shipped, you're going to see those in your deposits tab. So again, one less trip to the bank for all those. The money is not something that, you know, you have to worry about a parent losing the funds. It's already, you know, collected. It's in the bank. You don't have to go to the bank. You don't have to make a deposit for this. It's a done deal. So it shows up in your deposits tab. But you got to make sure those parents deliver those cookies. It also shows up on your sales report. So all the DOC orders show up here. All the DOC deposits show up here. So, you know, I've talked to groups leaders like, well, so it shows up at $4 a box. We'll say here $4 a box as a deposit. So how do I get my true proceeds? Do I have to do the math? What's happening there? Don't sweat it. I say don't, you know, you're going to completely confuse yourself if you're trying to kind of do the math on, well, I need to keep extra money out here and less money out there. Go to your sales report tab. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. So it's going to show you, you know, how much was owed to the council, how much you've deposited, and how much the council was owed, how much deposits you made, and how much you still owe them. So you can just keep track of this and say, okay, well, you know, I got, you know, a little bit extra money here because I deposited. Council thinks I deposited $4 a box. I didn't keep my true proceeds out, so on some other money I got to keep true proceeds out. So just worry about this, the amount you owe council. It'll take care of all that whole offset and everything for you. So instead of trying to think it through on each order, just go to your sales report tab, say, okay, I still owe council X. This is a bad example since it's got a negative, but I still owe council X number of dollars, and just worry about looking there. So, potentially, if you had a lot of DOC orders, you used cookies in hand to collect money for all of them, you could end up in a situation where council owes you money, and they will definitely get you your money. But just really looking at your sales reports, the one piece that you need, so you don't have to work too hard thinking about it. And I believe, there are also in eBuddy, there's a tab for DOC reports. You can see a couple of those reports as well. And I think we've zip back through this. Oops, there we go. All right, so that's what I've got. So other questions, Roberta?
Yeah, we have a few. Like I said before, once you attend your troop training within your service unit, you will get your troop guide, you'll get your permission slips, you'll get all your cookie materials. So you should all be hearing from your service unit cookie chair very soon as to when that training will be. For the delivery order, do I have to put the cookies they selected in the right place? Yes. When you get that report from a girl, either the line on her order card or the report that's been exported from Digital Cookie that tells you what varieties have been ordered, that's going to be part of her initial order. So that will go under the varieties. We will be doing a webinar at the troop level on initial order, how to place your initial order. That will come up probably a couple weeks before initial order is due. So if you're a new leader and you're a little confused by all of this, there will be help for you. We will be doing webinars. There's so much you need to learn in the beginning that there's some things we just say a little bit about and then we focus on them later when it's time to do it. So we will have a webinar on initial order a little bit later. And we will include in that webinar handling the in-person orders from Digital Cookie. Let me go through and see if I missed anything. Somebody did ask about Toffee-Tastics and s'mores. They're available in Digital Cookie. I think s'mores are, aren't they, Heather?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're available in Digital Cookie. You will be able to have them for in-person orders from Digital Cookie because that's going to go on the girls' initial order. Somebody has asked, will we have them for booth sales? We don't know. We won't know. We will not have them for March booth sales for sure. We won't know until initial orders are in because we had to put in an order for those cookies. And if the girls' initial orders exceed the number that we told Little Brownie, then Little Brownie will fulfill all the initial orders, but we won't have anything left for booth sales. If the girls' initial orders are lower than what we told Little Brownie, then we will get the difference, and we will have them available for booth sales. We won't know that until initial order comes in. And this just has to do with our council and our rewards, but I would like to answer it. We offer an extra 5 cents a box if a troop has equaled or exceeded the previous year's initial order. The in-person delivery cookies will count towards that because they're part of that girl's initial order, and they're going to be received in the cases that that troop receives at its delivery, because we're comparing cases in the initial order to cases in the initial order from the previous year. The shipped cookies will also count if they were ordered during the initial order period. They will count for the girl rewards. They will not count toward the extra 5 cents. Donated cookies during initial order will also count for the girls' initial order reward, but not for the extra 5 cents. The email address to use if you did not receive the digital cookie invitation, registration email, is productsales@girlscoutshh.org and use the subject No DOC email. I think we may have gotten them all. I think we've gotten them all. I will look them over tomorrow, and if I see something, I will respond to it individually. But I think we've got them all covered, Heather.
All right, excellent. Well, thanks again, everyone, for your time this evening and for being here. I know you guys are committed to your girls and your troops having an awesome experience, and I appreciate that, as do they. And I know that leaders, you have a thankful job. You do a lot, and it's rare that the parent or the girl remembers to say thank you, but that doesn't mean they're not thinking it. So on behalf of Roberta, all those girls who weren't saying thank you, all the parents who weren't saying thank you, I want to thank you for everything you guys have done. And I wish you a wonderful and awesome, amazing year in Digital Cookie. And now you know you've got tools that if the weather does actually turn winter someday, you're going to be set. You're going to be all set for selling without having to set a single foot outside. So for that reason, I hope for like 2 days of bad weather for you. So,
and
anyway,
we really appreciate you doing this for us. I appreciate it very, very much. So thank you so much, and good night to all.
All right, we'll talk to you guys. I can't wait to hear some success stories. Have a great night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.